Hi everybody, welcome to Leslie Levison's Mermaid Cave. This is a special video for the hand embroidery group, and I just wanted to share with you some tips on doing stitches that are where the thread is wrapped around the needle, such as French knot, bullion, cast on, and double cast on. So let's get to that. I know a lot of you are using kits that come with floss, and honestly, I think floss is kind of difficult to learn how to do some of these stitches with, because if the tension in your fingers isn't exactly even on all of the threads, you're going to get, like, it just goes kaplooey, right? So what I like to use is number 8 pearl cotton, which usually comes in a little spool, or a little spool, I guess you could say, like this. And also, you can get it, Caron threads, C-A-R-O-N threads, makes beautiful overdyed number 8 pearl. It's called water lilies. And they're just gorgeous threads. They come in, many different colors. And you can use that as well if you have access to a really good needle workshop. Again, that's Caron threads, water lilies. So let's start. Whoops. Let's start by not losing our thread from our needle. I am using a number 3 milliner's needle. Okay. The milliner's needles, of course, allow you to pull the needle through a lot of twists without it being bigger than the eye of the needle is not bigger than the needle itself. Okay, I have a very messy sewing though. Sign of great creativity, right? So for a French knot, you're going to come up, hold your thread off to the side. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold the thread with my left hand. I'm going to wrap it 3 times. I wouldn't wrap it more than 3 times unless the pattern or whatever instruction you're following calls for it. And then I'm going to continue to hold on to that thread. That's the key. So for those of you whose French knots are going boing, you're probably not holding on to that thread. I'm taking my needle down just next to where I came up, not it back in the same hole. Okay, so hold on to that thread, pull your needle through, and then let go at the very end, and you have a lovely French knot. I'll do that again. Hold it off to the side, wrap your thread around, your needle goes back into where you came up, or right next to where you came up, and pull it through. Right. Now here you see I've done 3 wraps, 2 wraps, and 1 wrap each. Okay, so that's French knot. Practice it. The only way you're going to get better at embroidery, like anything else, is just to practice. Okay. Now, the next one, the bullion stitch. I'm going to come up. I, again, hold my thread off to the side. And I'm going to go over about 1/4 inch, bring my needle up just beyond where I originally came up. Okay. Now, I'm going to wrap it 12 times. 12. You want to wrap it enough so that it's long enough to cover the amount of fabric that you took up in your needle. Now again, this is probably where some of you are having a problem, and that your bullion stitch doesn't look even. If this lead thread, in other words the thread that's coming out from that loop, is tangled up, you just want to tease it out. Okay? Sometimes it kind of goes back on itself. So you just tease that forward, and then you can also just kind of tease the other loops forward until you get an even distribution of the loops. So I take my needle down, and there we have a lovely bullion stitch. Okay. If you are making something that calls for a loop with a bullion, so then what you do is you only go a little distance. I got about 1/8 of an inch in there, and you put on a lot of wraps. So I'm going to wrap it 25 times. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, I'm going to hold on to all those stitches, pull my needle through. I'm still holding on to all those rounds. Now I can let go, and again just pull it through, and you have a nice little loop. Okay, that's a bullion. Now we get to a cast on stitch. If you're a knitter, you know how to do this. If you're not a knitter, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not a knitter. For the cast on stitch, again, you're going to come away a little bit from where you came up. Bring your needle up just beyond where you originally came up. And we're going to cast on. So you're going to wrap the thread around your finger and then put your needle through that loop and bring it down. Okay, wrap your thread around, bring it down. And again, I want to make enough that's going to cover the space that I have taken up in my fabric with my needle. Oops. What you don't want to have happen is you don't want your loops to end up down at the bottom, because that won't work. You want to keep them all nice and straight in a line. I'll do a few more. I'm very good at embroidery, not so good technically with the video and the camera and all that. So you've been warned. Okay, so now I'm going to let go and just again pull that, and the cast on stitch has kind of an edge to it. So that's a cast on stitch. The last one I want to show you is the double cast on, and I'm just going to knot this off here. So for the double cast on stitch, I have my milliner's needle with 2 threads. I'm using 2 different colors so that you can see that, you know, how it works. I'm going to come up, needle comes down, back up right near where I first came up. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to separate my threads like so. I'm going to work a cast on stitch first on one side and one thread, and then on the other side. I'll pull my needle up a little higher so it catches on the thread. All right. So I'm going to keep doing that. First color A, then color B. And you can just sing to yourself. I have to get some music into my studio so I can entertain you while I'm stitching. I do have a YouTube channel called Crazy Quilting in the Mermaid's Cave. And the first episode is basically how to make a crazy quilt block. But after that, it's all about embroidery and beaded embroidery. I show you how to do shisha mira, how to do a capuchon with peyote stitch, a lot of different things. Okay. So I've got this done. Again, I'm going to hold on to those stitches, pull my needle through, pull all the thread through, let go at the very end. And there you have it. Nice little double cast on stitch. Okay. And then of course I take my needle back down. Now, that's all lovely. What are you going to do with it? So, you can, these are bullion roses. I've done several of those, which is the little lazy daisy stitch as the leaves, some French knots in the middle. This is a flat bullion rose, so it's all bullion stitches worked around, in circles. This one is the cast on stitch done like the same technique as the bullion rose, but it's the cast on stitch instead. If I can get those closer up for you. Okay. And then this one is a bullion stitch done like a stem stitch. And then I went back and added some bullion in a different color in between I added the purple in between the green. This is a bullion, like the little loops that we made to make a swag. And just to give it a more finished look, I added a French knot at the top of each swag. This little butterfly, that's the double cast on stitch. These are just lazy daisies done, and then a long stem French knot for the antenna. Usually if I do the butterfly, I like to do it with the Rachel or Rachelette, which is a nylon thread with a metallic core. It's like pantyhose. It'll shred on you, so you have to use a big chenille needle. But it's very pretty, and it really has an ethereal look like a butterfly. This is just a chain stitch that I added French knots all along the edge. So that's what I wanted to show you, and I hope that those of you who are just beginning your embroidery journey are enjoying it, and don't give up. Just keep on stitching and it'll click one day. Okay? Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.